What's up, family? Welcome into another edition of Make Every Second Count Live with me, your host, Jeff Marconette Jr., and international award-winning Make Every Second Count speaker. Wow, each and every time I say that, I get so pumped up just because I know what I have gone through in life, and it's like I can't even believe where I am today. But so this is season 10, episode number 5. And we're actually pre-recording today because tonight's guest doesn't live here, doesn't live in the States. So this is an international guest. But I ask you, please, please, please share this episode out. Invite all kinds of people to watch it. Just tag people in the comments. I would love that. Also, keep the thumbs up, the hearts, the frowny faces, cry faces. You can even get mad at us. I don't care. Just help us trick the algorithm on any of the socials that we're on. And then also keep the comments coming. Ask as many questions, state as many things as you get from this episode because we want to have more of a conversation than make just a presentation. But with no further ado, I would like to bring Miss Florence to the stage.
Hi,
Hello, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me on the show.
Oh, for sure. I thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy evening to be here with me and my peeps.
It's a pleasure.
Awesome. So, if you would like to go through a short introduction, tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and what you do, I would appreciate that.
So, hello everyone, Jeff's amazing community. My name is Sylva, and as Jeff already kind of said, I'm a transplant. I'm American, but I live in Italy, just outside of Florence.
Oh,
And yeah,
what time is it there?
it's 6 o'clock in the evening.
Wow,
Yeah,
6 o'clock. That's crazy.
yeah, I've got dinner on the mind.
Yeah.
And I am a writer, a podcast host myself. I host a podcast called Magic, Medicine, and Mayhem, and I am a professional energetic healer.
Awesome. I that is really cool. But I have to ask, what is a professional energetic healer?
That's fair. So what I do is I specialize in Reiki. I'm not sure if you're familiar with
Yeah.
Reiki. For anybody that's listening and isn't familiar with Reiki, it's a Japanese technique working with the energy of a person. And some people use touch, and some people just hover just a little above the skin. And it's just a very relaxing uh, technique that is great for all sorts of things. And aside from Reiki, I also specialize in shamanic techniques.
That's
Um,
awesome. I
yeah,
have to say that's really unique, rather cool.
thanks. I think so
Yeah.
too.
So, all right. I know from personal experience. You see, when I was 17, I was involved in a very serious car accident. You probably saw it there
I
in
stalked you a
the
little bit.
in the intro. There's a picture of my car. But so when I was 17, I was in that car. Traumatic car accident, nearly died. But I have gone through a 2.5 month coma, a 3.5 month hospital stay, and 24 plus years of physical therapy now. And I'm still in it even to this day. And I'm so proud of myself for that. I don't say that for ego, but I say that to show other people that they can do it too. If I can, they can. But I learned when I was going through all that stuff that it's better if you grow through those things because I think that we face obstacles a lot of times in order for us to learn a lesson. If for
Yep.
order for us to learn how to avoid that and how to better improve our lives. So, has there been anything you have had to grow through?
Oh, where do I even start? Where do I even
Well,
start?
at the
Life just
beginning?
throws. Oh man, I don't. That's like, how long do you all have, really? um, I think it's really interesting, and I really appreciate what you're saying about the things that we go through, giving us, I also agree, opportunities to grow. And then it's up to us if we decide to take those things by the ears, right? And
Yes.
really,
Marcus Aurelius says, one of the Stoic philosophers, that the obstacle is the way, and that is kind of like, wow, that really hit home with me.
yeah, yeah. I mean, in my adult life, uh, I have been married now 3 times. This last one is, 3rd time's the charm. My first my first, marriage was, well, we were together for 11 years, and we were married for 7, and it was a pretty rough ending. He was, a bit of a manipulative, kind of narcissistic type, and very controlling, and so I would say that's definitely the first major thing that I had to learn how to get myself out of, and then learn how to use, right? Learn how to, like, go forward after that, not being bitter and not being closed, but still being open
I have
to
a
life.
friend that says that we have a choice, that when we go through things, we can either come out the other side as bitter or better. So I like the way you worded that you came out better instead of bitter.
Yeah, I mean, I had to get mad first and sad and rage and, all that stuff, but then I came to a point where I saw, okay, like, I have multiple ways that I can go forward with this, so what do I wanna do with my life? And how do I want to rebuild myself? And I decided to ride my bicycle across the United States because that's obviously what everyone chooses, right?
Wow.
I'm a
So
special individual.
how did you cross the United States? Was it California to New York, or
I went from Berkeley, California, to down to San Diego, and then across to St. Augustine, Florida.
wow.
It's called the Southern Tier, plus
How
the California part is not included in that, but
how long did that take you?
that took me 4.5 months,
4.5 months.
from
Wow, that
October until mid-February.
that has to be a pretty good pace.
I was somewhere in the middle, probably. Some people do it in, like, 3 months,
Wow.
but I had nothing else to do, and so I wanted to take my time and get to know my country better
Yeah.
also, and
Yeah.
get myself figured out, you know?
So that's weird though. So you decided to do this after your divorce,
Mhm.
and like, so you were probably down and broken
Yes.
at that point,
That's
and
a fair
then
assessment.
you chose to ride across the country.
Mhm.
Why
Yes.
exactly?
Well, I have for a very long time, like since 2005 or 4, been, an avid cyclist. And together with that ex-husband, we did a lot of cycle tours around the world and in our backyard in Colorado and in the States, and I really fell in love with it, honestly. And I just had this feeling, even though I couldn't really explain why, and I didn't understand why until, months into the journey, that it was just something that I needed to do. And so I think there's a certain point, we need to do the introspection and the reflection, like it's a really important part of moving forward and moving forward in a better way, I think. But at a certain point, you just got to start moving. You got to go. You got to go. And so for me, that meant on a bike.
Yeah, that's cool. So I have this other friend named Marissa August
Mhm.
who rode her bike from Canada to Mexico.
That's so cool.
And yeah, and she did it after a diagnosis of this strange tumor. It's
Mm,
not a non-cancerous tumor found in her brain that makes she continues to grow.
hmm,
It's weird. She
yeah,
says that many people have these tumors, but they don't realize it.
hmm.
It's really neat. So, what did riding across the country do for you?
I think it did everything. I mean, I was able to, as I'm moving along physically, like day after day, I'm, faced with so many situations that I need to navigate. Good ones, bad ones, weather, sketchy people. Every day trying to find, where am I going to sleep? Where do I get food? Sometimes there was not, a lot of water, so I needed to plan ahead a lot. And I had heat waves. I had freak winter storms. I had all sorts of stuff, rabid dogs. And it just really taught me, like day by day, decision by decision, just how resilient I really was, like more resilient than I imagined that I could have been. It was just like astounding discovering my own potential, I guess.
That is amazing. The fact that you discovered your own potential, your own resilience when you were traveling through the country, dealing with heat waves and storms and rabid dogs, and that's just insane to me. That is courage, I guess you'd
It's
say.
best.
That that's really brave that you went out and did something like that. So, all right, let's see here. You said that you dealt with all that stuff. How exactly did you know how to deal with some of those things?
Well, some of it honestly is because I have or had done a lot of bike touring before that. So I knew, certain things like how to plan a route, what to pack, like, what equipment I needed to have with me and stuff like that. But of course, like anyone that's bike toured or anyone that's even just taken a grand adventure, you know that all sorts of things can happen along the way. And so what I really needed to lean on was the kindness of strangers, for sure, of which there was a lot, and my own intuition, like my own
All right,
inner
let's pause there
compass.
for a minute. So you mentioned the kindness of strangers. Now,
Mhm.
I tend to like kindness. That is a big deal for me. But what did that kindness look like?
It showed itself in so many ways. Sometimes it was just somebody that would see me riding along on the road with I found this, pirate flag on the side of the road in, like, Eastern California, and so I rigged it to the back of my bike, so I had this pirate flag flying on the bicycle. It was so awesome, and so people, would stop and say, like, "Nice pirate flag," or whatever. They would give me water. People would give me water. I got a burrito one time. People would, just very I think when you travel on a bicycle like that, people sometimes they don't know what to do, but a lot of the times they're much more curious than they would be with other tourists.
Yeah.
They're like it like breaks barriers. Like, it doesn't really matter, like, your background, like, your culture, like, whatever. And this has happened to me also, like, in Vietnam and, like, other places around the world. Like,
What? All
yeah.
right. Well, hold on. Let's pause there for a minute because I don't want to miss this. But first of all, I have a question for you. Do you know what a pirate's favorite letter is?
Red.
No, it's the C. But all right.
Oh my god. It's
back
awesome.
to stupid dad jokes. But
I love it. Bring it.
so you mentioned Vietnam. How
Yeah.
many countries have you ridden in?
Oh, now you're gonna make me make the list. So let's see. There's been Vietnam, Laos, and Thailand. That was all in the same trip.
Wow.
Mexico, Canada, the States, um, tons of European countries. So like,
Well, how do
um,
I count tons?
uh, Croatia,
2,000?
no, Croatia, Austria, Slovenia, um, no, Bulgaria. I went just on my own 2 feet.
You're up to 9 now.
Italy, Italy,
10.
Scotland is not in the EU anymore, but
So it's still part of Europe.
yeah. What am I missing? Germany, a little sliver of Germany, little sliver of Switzerland. I know I'm missing New Zealand. What else am I missing? Maybe that's it.
That's 14 countries.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing.
Thank you.
So not to sound too much like a TED talk, but what did riding across all those lands teach you?
I really think traveling is like one of the most incredible things that we can do for ourselves if we are, allowed to financially. I feel like I'm super fortunate to be an American. Like I can travel, or at least for until now, I could travel freely pretty much anywhere I wanted. Like in our culture, women are free to travel. So I have to say that I feel very fortunate in those senses. But if one can travel, and even just maybe to the other side of the country or to a different state, you just see so many different ways that people live, and it opens up your mind, your heart. It will show you wisdom in so many ways. It will force you to grow and force you to learn,
I
you know?
like that. Force you to grow.
Yeah.
And by growing, you learn by growing. So
Yeah.
it
True.
forces you to learn at the same time. I like the way you worded that. So let's say somebody is dealing with a divorce of their own and they're extremely down about that because I figure you were down at that time, but
Oh,
they're
yes.
extremely down and they're not really a biker. They don't bike like you. What would you tell that person that is going through that?
Well, first of all, I would say if you gotta feel down for a bit, that's okay. That's more than okay. Like, just you gotta feel whatever it is you gotta feel for a while, wallow, etc. But then at some point, you gotta give yourself some sort of a project or something to get your butt moving, because at a certain point, you can't it's tempting sometimes to, like, stay in the dark, terrible place for a long time. And it's okay if, like, you gotta stay there for longer than I did or whatever. Like, this is not a one size fits all
Yeah.
journey. But at a certain point, you gotta give yourself a reason to keep going, Like, that's that choice moment like we were talking about earlier. It's like, what do you wanna do with this experience? What is it showing you?
So if someone is down on themselves and
Mhm.
down on their circumstances, down on the way their life has turned out, what how can they come to that point that they have to keep moving? They tell themselves they have to keep moving. And then if they come to that point, how do they come to that point? And what should their first step be?
Something small, something doable, you know? Like, when you feel down, you feel so down, like, sometimes it's hard to even get up. Sometimes it's hard, like, the things that you usually do don't give you joy, It's like a really, really tough moment. But this too shall pass. Like, it cannot last forever. Nothing in this world lasts forever. So, that means the great things, that means the crap things. So, that means also that moment too. So, the moment you even have that first little inkling of, like, there has to be an end to this. Okay. What do you want that end to be? When do you want it to be? What do you want to do next? Maybe just like you don't even need to know how that's going to happen. You don't even need to, you know where the resources are going to come from or anything like that. But just take one tiny little step. Like maybe it's just getting out of bed a little bit earlier than you did the day before. You know? It's just like opening the windows and looking outside. Whatever you can do in that moment, just do it. And then the next day, do a little tiny bit more. Maybe get dressed. Because I know for a long time when I was depressed, I was like, why should I even get out of my pajamas? There's no point. And then at a certain point, I was like, I'm gonna put my clothes on. I'm gonna put adult clothes on today.
Adult clothes. What if you want to put kids' clothes on?
Okay, that's
All
cool.
right. All right. I don't want you to think that we're only talking to adults here
Yeah,
because
anyway.
I know that I have kids that watch the show too.
Hi, kids.
Well, I won't call them kids. I'll call them young adults.
That's probably better.
Yes, I figure so. So, what is the main thing that helped you get to that point where you wanted to do things?
You know, I don't know if it's an innate quality that I have or if it's a decision that I make. Maybe it's both. But I choose curiosity over fear. Like the fear is there, or the anxiety or whatever it is there, the depression in this case. But also there's a part of me that's like, well, okay, so why am I in this place? Why am I still in this place? Like, what is it that I still need to learn from this dark place before I can move out of it? Like, what is it that's keeping me here? And I just start getting curious about it instead of, just letting myself be completely absorbed in, the dark side of things. And that's something that's really saved me a lot of times is choosing curiosity, I think.
Choosing curiosity. So that is great. I like choosing curiosity because you said that it can keep you out of that dark place. But
Mm.
let's pause there again because I'm curious.
You're
Catch
curious
that.
about my
I'm
curiosity?
curious about curiosity. Now, but so what does that dark place look like?
Like, what did it look like for me?
Yes, and how did it make you feel?
Uh, okay, well, anybody that knows me knows that my greatest challenge in my life is like keeping up with myself because I've had a million lives. Like I've had so many jobs. Like when I list them off to people, it seems like I am like a 70-year-old or something. So if I'm down,
You
if
look
I'm
really
sad,
good for 70.
well, thank you, sir. It must be my moisturizer. I'm just kidding. If
Moisturizer.
I'm if I'm like, still stopped, like depressed, like to the point of I'm not dreaming, I'm not scheming, I'm not, generating ideas. Like for me, that's like I've reached the point of not no return, but I'm in a bad place. So it's a place of like no movement, It's a place of just like everything sucks. I'm sad. There's no reason to do anything. But my nature is not that. So at a certain point, I'm like, okay, I've been here a while. And then I see I have a choice. Like for a while, I forget that I have a choice. Like I think that's how the darkness gets you. Like it's that space where you feel like you don't have a choice, where you feel like you're just completely stuck there. And then the little tiny, like pinpoint of light starts to come back when you realize again, or you manage to realize maybe for the first time, who knows, that you have a choice.
Wow. I, I really like that things seem to come down to choices with you. And honestly, it's really our choice how we react. So, all right, we cannot control what happens to us, but we control how we react to what happens to us. So,
I mean,
like, I
I think
was in a
your
severe
life,
car.
exactly, your life is like the biggest testimony to that.
Yeah, I was in a severe car accident, nearly died, and people told me I wouldn't walk again. But I chose that I was going to walk. You think there's people out there that are going to give you permission to quit, people that are going to tell you that things aren't possible for you because it didn't work for them. So why is it going to work for you? But the
Yeah.
thing is, we are the only person that can truly hold us back in life. Those other people can try. Those other people can say that they won't, that it won't work, but you are the only one that can really prove that it won't work or it will work.
Yeah.
And you have to have hope that it will work.
Mhm.
So whatever you're going through, whatever you're facing, whatever you're climbing, keep moving forward. That's all
Agreed.
you can do. And you could ride a bike across the country if you want.
It's
That
fun.
that
You should
that
try
would
it.
be that would be cool. Yeah.
It was cool, for
Yeah.
sure.
I have to say that I'm really impressed by you.
Oh,
Just the resilience you showed through your divorces, and I said divorces. I caught
no.
myself. Divorce, the resilience you showed through your divorces, your willingness to be curious and actually go forward with life is impressive to me. I have to
Thank
say.
you. Thank you,
Yes,
Jeff.
thank you. And I do have a couple other questions. And I know we're about out of time here,
Bring
but
it on.
they'll be quick, I promise. So, what exactly does make every second count mean to you?
To me, it has always meant to follow my own, like, rhythm, to follow what it is that makes me sing, that makes me feel alive, and that gives me joy. And I have had a very non-traditional life because I don't care what people think. I really don't. Like, I care what I think. you know, and I of course I love other people. I need other people, you know, like we all do. My relationships are very important to me, but also if somebody isn't, you know, in agreement with what I'm doing and they don't like it, then that's okay. No
Yeah.
problem.
Move
And
on.
move on. I just really believe, yeah, in following the spirit of adventure. Like I've always done that. And I just, I never know where life's going to take me, but I'm really game for it.
Hmm. That is awesome. Like, wow. So the final question that I have for you is, do you have any contact information you would like people to have? If not, that's okay. But I said in my little thing when I pitched the show to you that I would ask.
I do. I do. If anybody would like to contact me, I love to hear from people. You can go to my website, which is www.sylvaflorence.com. Florence, like the city that I live next to. And I have a podcast called Magic, Medicine, and Mayhem. So if you want to listen to it, you can leave comments and messages there as well. I'm on Instagram as Magic, Medicine, and Mayhem, Threads. I'm on LinkedIn. I am all over the place. So it's kind of
That's
hard to
awesome.
miss me.
I know my dad tells me I say awesome too much. I say amazing too much, but that's what it is. That's awesome. So it is sylvaflorence.com and it is
Thank
SYLVAFLORENCE.com
you.
or medicine, or wait, you're gonna have to repeat the other one again.
No problem. So it's magic,
Magic,
medicine, medicine, and mayhem.
magic, medicine, and mayhem, or just the three words.
All magic, medicine, and mayhem.
All right, so the three words and the word and. So
Got it.
that is phenomenal, I have to say. And I
Thank
didn't use awesome again.
Phenomenal is awesome though.
True. All right. Well, I need everybody out there, including you, Sylva, to do me a favor this week, next week, and for the rest of your life. I need you to make every second count. Why?
Done.
Because you never know when those seconds will run out on your one life. That's all you get. I'll see you back here next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And until then, you have a great week. Thank you again, Sylva.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you everyone who's been listening to us tonight.